To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everybody. Welcome to Kingdom Report Live. We are here at the Warner Brothers Studios Media District in beautiful Burbank, just up the road from Disneyland Resort. Hopefully you're having a great weekend, and thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend with us. Who's us exactly? Well, from AttractionFaction.net, Katrina Manzone.
Hi, everybody. I just want to say happy birthday, Mommy.
Oh, happy birthday! Woo!
Hey,
Well
you go,
done.
Leanne.
You better be watching.
Oh, she said she would. She better be.
And if you're not, have a terrible birthday. How about that? Yeah, no, just kidding. Have a great birthday. And Tyler Crouch.
Hey, everybody.
And of
hey,
course,
Leanne.
the man that makes the world go round, Curt Carlson, looking very festive today.
Oh, thank you. You know, I have my little jingle bells on.
Check you out. Where did you find such a treasure?
Why, Disneyland, of course.
What?
Yeah, I know. You can't really see it on the camera, but there's little Mickey heads on the bells themselves.
Stand up a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, let the world see
Now
your...
we know we can hear you walking down the hallway.
hey.
My goodness.
Yeah, I can't sneak up on it.
And-
No sneaking.
Perhaps the greatest shirt I've ever seen, too, by the way. Thank you.
Oh,
Kingdom
yeah.
Team all the way.
Oh, do you like that shirt?
Oh, that's... wow. You look like a trusted theme park fan.
I look the part at least.
Yeah, no, and you are.
Yeah.
And that's why you're here.
well.
Because you're so well trusted. Well, great to have you along with us
thank
as well,
you.
Curt. And there is another member of our team. Gared Hassel is our Walt Disney World reporter. While he can't join us live today, he did experience something pretty spectacular this week. Perhaps you've heard of Star Wars Rise of the Resistance having opened out in Walt Disney World at Disney's Hollywood Studios. I want to give you a quick look at what he experienced. Now, be advised, if you're waiting and saving yourself for this attraction, there are a few spoilers in this little preview, but definitely take a look. You'll want to see his full experience at the Kingdom Report on YouTube.
I'm boarding group 64, and there are groups 10 through 20, and I hear they get through about 10 groups an hour. And the force be with you. Let's go on this thing. I'm so pumped. Oh. So after waiting 7 hours outside, time to wait inside.
Board is away in 30 seconds. Your propulsions, and hold on, recruits. All ships launch.
It actually feels like you're moving. What in the world?
Cargo vessel TR-141, identify yourselves and prepare to be boarded.
This is TR-141. We are a civilian vessel. By whose authority are we being detained?
By the authority of the First Order, resistance scum.
This isn't going well.
You have what I want. You know the location of the secret base, and I will take it from you.
Oh.
What's going on?
What color was I?
Hey, you're not authorized. Wait, those are the prisoners.
Oh my gosh!
Disney Pastors Force! Taking us down already!
Oh my gosh!
Sound the alarm! All personnel to their stations!
Sir, the prisoners have escaped.
How brave, but ultimately hopeless. And then I will destroy you
Just got off Rise of the Resistance and wow, that thing took my breath away. Holy.
Again, don't miss Gared's special in-depth experience with Grand Opening Day at Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, The Kingdom Report on YouTube. Definitely something you want to check out. Well, it's headline time. Let's go to Trending Countdown. Trending Countdown time, where we run down some of the biggest stories of the week, Disney style, of course. And right up front, Katrina Manzone takes it away with some of our news. What's going on?
Some great news is happening. So, Experiences and Products Chairman Bob Chapek announced on Tuesday that Mickey Chapek.
That's how we should refer to him from now.
Can we have like an echo?
Chapek.
That Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway will be opening March 4th, 2020 at Disney's Hollywood Studios. This will be the first Disney ride-through attraction featuring Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. It'll draw guests inside a Mickey cartoon for a fun-filled adventure where mouse rules apply and anything can happen. So this is actually really exciting. It's kind of like the art style of the new Mickey Mouse cartoons.
What are mouse rules?
I mean, have you seen Roger Rabbit?
I have.
I mean, probably an anvil can fall on your head and you don't die.
Well then.
I think
I don't
so.
know.
I think that's probably
Can
true.
fall out of a building, can't die. No one can die.
In the poster, it looks like, well, at least in one of the posters they released, there's like an underwater part. So you're going to be able to breathe
drown.
underwater. You will not drown, I suppose.
Because that's what a mouse can do.
That's what a mouse can do.
By George. I got to tell you, I'm so pumped to finally... I was more excited about this than I was all of Star Wars Land when I heard that this was coming.
No, I kind of agree with you.
So pumped.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice to know that it's finally on the way. I did plan a trip earlier this year to Walt Disney World specifically to visit when it was supposed to be open. And of course, it got delayed this year. For anybody that doesn't know, this was originally supposed to be open this past spring, 2019. So a year later, we will wait.
Next spring.
it's about time.
I'm really excited. I think it's going to have stuff that is going to blow your mind personally. I think it's going to be things that you've never seen before. And I don't know if any of you guys have watched episode 5 of the Imagineering story yet.
Yes.
But they talk a lot about projection mapping in that episode. And there's a couple shots in there that I think are straight up like prototypes for Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway. I don't know. Anyway,
And also
it's so vivid
prototypes
too.
for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, but we won't get into that.
Oh my, JPEG.
Well, I like this.
Oh my gosh.
How about what's next on the docket?
So, and then there's even more cool announcements that happen at Walt Disney World. They actually announced a little bit more information about the 3 new restaurants coming into Epcot and Disney's Hollywood Studios. So first off, over at Epcot is Regal Eagle Smokehouse, craft drinks and barbecue, which I'm really excited for. This new fast casual restaurant opening this winter at the American Adventure is going to serve classic backyard barbecue celebrating flavors from different regions around the U.S., as well as home-style craft brews, which is pretty exciting. When you enter, you'll be greeted by the enticing aromas of barbecue coming from large smoker located in the center of the outdoor bar and seating area. So I can't wait to keep smelling that when I walk around.
You will
outside.
walk away smelling like it, probably.
Probably. I don't care. It's okay.
I didn't realize there was going to be an outdoor bar there, actually.
Yeah, it's going to
That's pretty
be off to this, like when you used to enter where that glass area used to be.
Yeah.
That's going to be the bar.
Fantastic.
And it better have like overhang, so just in case there's like a downfall of rain, everybody's covered.
I would think it would be that. I would think it's like an indoor-outdoor thing, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I don't know.
And I think anything would be better than what has lived in the American Pavilion up until this point, being that just sort of standard burger and fry restaurant, for a representation of America at Epcot. I get it. I guess it's uniquely American, but it was always something in this world cuisine showcase that is at Epcot to just have that be what the offering was.
Yeah.
As
It's
the
kind of
American
like
Adventure.
silly, like, burgers and fries, that's America. You
Yeah.
know?
I mean, it was just the same thing you could get at like Electric Umbrella and stuff,
Yeah.
which just made it boring, or even just like Cosmic Rays or anything, it's just generic stuff. So it was really...
I'm excited about it because I would like to try the different barbecues from around the U.S. I mean, there's vinegar-based ones and then there's like ketchup-based ones, and I particularly like the vinegar-based barbecue. sauces.
My goodness, yeah, bring it on.
Yeah,
Yep. Oh my
so
gosh.
it's amazing. And then another restaurant coming into Epcot, which we talked about the last episode. Because they had, I don't know, what was it? They were trying to find a cook or something.
Yeah, their chef gave up.
Their chef gave up or
apparently, yeah.
whatever. So Space 220, they announced a little bit more about it. It's going to be a table service restaurant debuting this winter. I don't even know that's true. Like, they said it's this winter.
Wrong.
I don't know
I
about
can't
this
imagine.
one.
I cannot
February
imagine.
is technically
Is that
winter.
winter?
Yeah, right?
Sure, you're right. I guess it's up
Cutting
till
it
February.
a little, I don't know. I don't like when they do this whole winter spring thing.
Yeah.
It's like the last day of winter. It's open.
Sure.
But it said winter. I don't know. So it's in Epcot. It's going to be next to Mission Space. So when you enter the restaurant, you'll step into a special space elevator that'll take you 220 miles above the Earth's surface and offer incredible celestial views. You'll feel as if you're traveling straight up into space to dock next to the Centauri space station, suspended just beyond the orbit of Mission Space. Upon arrival, you'll be guided to your seats past the grow zone and spinning wall of produce that mimics Earth's gravity and represents some of the fresh ingredients used by the restaurant's culinary team, which is kind of cool. So it's going to be like going through the living by this, like, what is it called? Oh my gosh, so I had a brain fart. Living with the land.
Yeah.
I was like, living with the seas. No, that's not right. Living with the land, like those things that like spin. So you have like that nice thing.
Got a grow zone
Yeah.
in space, because how else are you going to get your food?
Of course, this
Right.
is like a Matt Damon movie come to life again.
Oh, let's
But,
not get that movie involved with people eating this food.
In a bag.
If anybody's seen that movie, you'll understand. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Anyway, so then the third restaurant is...
There's another one?
There's one more.
What?
But not in Epcot. It's going to be a little further away.
Oh!
You're going to have to take this, like the Skyliner over there. So it is over in Hollywood Studios, the Roundup Rodeo Barbecue Restaurant.
Yeehaw.
Ooh, can you guess where that's going to be located?
Could it be in...
Galaxy's Edge.
Of course, yeah, that's right.
Seems like a
Makes
good
sense.
place for a roundup.
It's right next to Galaxy's Edge, though.
That was close.
Yeah, Toy Story Land.
Oh, Toy Story Land.
Yeah,
Rodeo
makes
Roundup.
total sense. So this new table service restaurant invites you to a rootin' tootin' rodeo right in Andy's backyard. Crazy. They mentioned it like a while back, and now they kind of gave us a little bit more. So guests will be immersed with all their favorite toy pals in the Western atmosphere of Woody's Roundup, providing a fun, family-friendly dining experience that could only be had in Toy Story Land. A new artist concept image released a couple days ago emphasized the theme of the new restaurant, constructed from Andy's favorite larger-than-life play sets and games. So
Woody's Roundup.
it's going to be pretty cool. I hope it's like, I don't know, it's going to be like Hoop-de-Doo or something like that in
From
like
what
in
I
a
understand,
way.
like no characters or no real show elements. I mean, it just seems like it's...
You're just going to be sitting on play sets.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems, honestly, by the concept art, I am not too thrilled by it. I don't know. It looks like the queue almost to Midway Mania.
It does look like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like, oh, we're just gonna be eating in the queue, I guess.
Is it going to be like Chez Remy, kind of like where...
No.
Or
Well,
no? Like how you're like
you mean
sitting
like
in
it's gonna
like
be like,
bottle
oh, you're in a
caps and like wires and
maybe.
stuff, you
I
know?
think it could be like that, because if I'm not mistaken, the whole idea is that like Andy put this restaurant together, right?
Yeah.
So
I think they need it. I think Hollywood Studios really needs like a restaurant, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for
More
it.
more
Hopefully
table
it's good.
service is
Maybe
always
they'll use
helpful
good
in that
barbecue.
environment.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Am I the only one that just wishes they would have just built a pizza planet though?
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean,
Seems
it's
appropriate.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
but
don't
they
know.
have what, the Pizza Rizzo, whatever there. So.
Yeah, they sure do.
They can't shut that down. JPEG.
It had nothing to do with Pizza Rizzo, but I mean,
He must have.
no, yeah, right.
Doesn't it sound delicious having a mouse make your pizza?
A rat.
It's
a
a
rat.
rat pizza.
I mean, I was trying to make it sound good, but
How dare you? Yeah, no.
was a dirty-
Pizza Rizzo. If you've
dirty
ever
rat.
if you've ever had that at Disney's Hollywood Studios, we've talked about it here before. I think Gared mentioned it once as a place to go after Muppet Vision 3D. Don't
Yeah,
do that.
go
Yeah,
to
you don't
Mama
need to.
Melrose.
No.
Just
Yeah.
go over that
If you want
way.
Italian food, Mama Melrose
I'm
is a
sorry,
place to
Go over
go.
there.
but- Yeah.
He looks sad.
I just love the Muppets so much. Just to see
Sure.
that, is just like,
I think it's great that they built that restaurant
Yeah.
because they didn't need to. There was no
Yeah.
reason to change it from a Toy Story thing to a Muppets thing, but they did it, and I love the theming, and I love that aspect of it. The food, not so good. That's
no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And when I went there, the atmosphere was great. The food Not so much.
Pizza is not a difficult thing to get,
Sure.
do well on. I mean, I don't necessarily understand why they've never been able to put out pizza that's worth a darn at that location.
Yeah.
It's really disappointing.
I think it just probably boils down to they know it's not great pizza, but it's also going to be cheaper, and they're trying to just appeal to people who are going to want to pay that price point. That's the only thing I could
You're
possibly
still
think of.
paying inflated prices given the fact that you're, a tourist. Just because you shouldn't have to sacrifice quality for the sake of, a buck in a theme park. I mean, you're
I
Disney.
agree
You
with
should
you.
still stamp that brand quality approval on everything and say, yeah, not only are we good at this, but dang it, this is a great place for you to come eat.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I think that in a way, I mean, except for Epcot is going to be the king of all the restaurants, of course. But as far as restaurants go, I feel like they have great restaurants in Hollywood Studios, but then they have the worst quick service. You know, it's like, it's interesting how it's like
it is an odd trade-off.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pumped to see any new restaurants coming into Hollywood Studios. Hopefully, and I think you're right, Tyler. I mean, it does look very much like you're eating in line for Toy Story Mania.
Yeah.
It's the way the concept.
Just bring in
looks.
like a restaurant for Star Wars, and I'll be happy.
Probably should have been done to begin with.
Kind of like a Space 220.
Oh,
Maybe, I don't know.
there's a concept.
Isn't that cool? Or you eat on a ship or something, like a cool like Star Cruiser kind of thing. I don't know.
You know, I heard the company that built Willy Wonka's elevator is building the elevator for Space 220.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Wow.
What's that company's name?
Oompa Loompas. Oompa Loompas Inc. I don't know.
Oompa Loompas.
You had me so much, and then you just couldn't finish.
I was trying to get a dad joke in there. He always comes up on those.
I felt like I already was at the dad joke.
I mean, it
Anyway.
was just wrong on so many levels.
Let's move on, everybody.
Appreciate you trying, at least. Well, all these new great eats coming to us across Walt Disney World property.
Get those stretchy pants ready.
That's right. I'm ready to gain another 20 pounds without Thanksgiving. Tyler, what else is going on?
Yeah, so going along with more announcements for when things are opening, they have announced that the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, which is the new hotel that's going to be a 2-night kind of cruise itinerary for Star Wars fans right next to Hollywood Studios, that's going to be debuting in 2021 at the Walt Disney World Resort. As I said, it's like a new type of immersive vacation. You're going to be showing up. You drive in your car or your Magical Express or whatever to the place. You board a shuttle. You get to the Galactic Space Cruiser Terminal. You'll get on this little shuttle. They'll take you to, as you're going up to, you're going to blast off at light speed. I know, it's going up there. You're going to blast off, and as you're going up, you're going to be able to look out the window, see Earth below you, and you're going to be able to see. Now, honestly, I'm not exactly
psychedelic, man. This is crazy.
What direction is it?
It's
we're
up.
Blasting up. Okay.
But so Halcyon, is that how you think you say the Star Cruiser?
That's how I would say it.
Halcyon, I think that's going to be the Star Cruiser you're going to be able to see. But the reason you have to take a shuttle is because it's too big to land on any planet.
Yeah.
So of course everybody knows
like
that.
a dinghy, like when you go on a normal cruise ship.
Exactly.
So.
But
obviously.
Of course, part of the adventure on the Halcyon is going to be there's going to be a day at port where you're going to go to Black Spire Outpost, and you're going to continue your story that you had on Halcyon is going to follow you out to Black Spire. I don't know exactly how they're going to do that or what the story that they're going to have on Halcyon. That sounds very interesting to me. But you're going to take a specially designed shuttle to get to Black Spire Outpost as well. So it seems like everything that they're doing with this hotel is just about immersion. That's the entire thing. And a 2-night thing, it's going to be interesting to see how many times people are going to want to do this, I feel like. I mean, I definitely want to do it at least.
We should all do it together.
We should all do it together, actually. That'd be fun.
And then we'll go to port and go to Black Spire Outpost.
Yeah.
Because that's super fun.
And
we'll dress up and all this cool stuff.
Oh, perfect.
I think I'm on board. But the other thing is like, if everybody's following their Star Wars story, don't you think most people want to be a Jedi? So then is it going to be weird that there's like 900 Jedi on this space station?
I want to be an engineer because that's like the best.
An engineer?
It's not.
No.
It's like the worst
she's
position.
yeah.
Maybe if you're cast on the way in. You know, like they got to balance it out somehow, right?
See, but
so they're
then
just gonna keep handing you things just like they do Smuggler's Run. And you're like,
That's what I
you're
was
gonna
gonna
get an
say.
engineer. And I'm like,
that's what I was gonna say. So then you're telling me I'm gonna spend $6,000 on this vacation, and then I don't even get the role that I want. Like that
you're
would
gonna
make me
be in
angry.
custodial.
Like, yeah, really, yeah. No, I mean, I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't like that. So I don't know. I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do, because obviously they have to have this whole itinerary booked out.
Yeah.
It's not like it's gonna be you wake up and it's like, oh, what should we do today? No, they're gonna have it planned for you.
Right.
And I'm curious to see what exactly there is to do on this ship. I mean,
I'm excited for them to transfer you from the hotel to Black Spire Outpost.
Yeah,
Because
I want to
the
see
van,
all that stuff.
So it's going to be like projected, right? Like you're going to be driving in a van, but it's going to be kind of like going on on Hogwarts Express, like where you can't see where you're going, but they're going to have stuff playing off to the side.
I'm
probably going to get sick, but it seems really cool.
I wonder how they're even going to portray these things. Like, how are they going to disguise this bus as a spaceship or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of really curious things that I think are going to add up to a really cool experience that I think I'm going to want to. I think everybody's going to want to experience it. But but again, my question is like, so if you do this 2-day itinerary, is there going to be another itinerary that you could do like down the road, or is it going to be the same exact story, or like how many times can you do this experience? I'm just curious about that.
And then I mean, there's only so much before it gets played out. That's for sure. And I mean, you take a look at the concept art, or even the live image of like it being built. I think we have it here, as a matter of fact, where I mean, it looks like a ship on the ground. It kind of has that shape, but it's definitely one of those things that, I mean, clearly it's not going to have any windows. It's supposed to be all completely enclosed. You're supposed to be on a ship in space, that whole concept. So
that's the amazing thing about this photo that we're looking at right here, is that all of that, if you really think about it, is going to be considered backstage.
Yeah.
It's the first time that like an actual building, like a hotel building, is going to be like backstage. They don't want you to look at that. They don't want you to see it. That's not part of your experience. So they're going to make it look not ugly, but they're just not going to worry about how beautiful it is.
Yeah. Probably going to be one
it's
concrete.
like the first hotel where you can't just drive up being like, I want to go to dinner here.
Right.
You know?
Oh, yeah,
like,
sure.
Get out of here.
Yeah, could you imagine going to security? Oh, yeah, we want to go hit up the restaurant. No.
You want to go to Space 220 then?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Turn around.
Right.
Go down the street.
Park
You'll
it
be
up.
fine.
That's right. Well, I can't wait to see it either.
Yeah.
A lot of unanswered questions when
Very
it comes to this type of experience, first of its kind for Disney, and really, I
First
think
of its kind for
I'm
anybody.
gonna say,
feel
I don't
like.
know anybody that's ever attempted something like this. So
I mean, there's been like, interactive dinner shows and things like that before, but this is like an interactive dinner show for 2 days. I mean, there's nothing. This is exciting. It's exciting. It really is.
I think about that, dad that pays for everything but doesn't necessarily want to be involved. How much are they going to force you to be involved in this sort of situation? And are they going to give you the opportunity to just go back to your room and say, I don't want to deal with it? Or,
they're going to have, and of course they've embraced data pads in Batu, and so because everybody's going to be walking around on their cell phone still, so it's just, now it's part of it's a data pad, everybody. It's part of the universe. Don't worry. I don't know. It's going to be really, really interesting. It's an exciting time. And I just wonder if we're going to see videos coming out of it, or if it's going to be one of those things that you're going to have to experience. I wonder what the rules will be like about filming other guests or anything like that.
Interesting policing that will have to be done in an environment like this. Yeah.
Okay, so on to our next story. More announcements of releases. How exciting.
What else is coming, Tyler?
Oh, my goodness. So over at Epcot, there is a trifecta of films opening up, and they're happening on January 17th.
How about that?
So the first one, well, hold on. Let me get my bearings here.
Get your bearings.
Sorry, yeah. So that's the first day. That's actually the same day that Festival of the Arts opens. So anybody who's excited to go see Festival of the Arts, go there on January 17th. You can also see these 3 films playing. The first one is Awesome Planet, and that is in the Land Pavilion. And it's going to showcase the Earth's beauty and diversity in a 10-minute film featuring spectacular imagery, in theater effects, and original music from the Academy Award-winning composer Stephen Price. So that sounds like it's going to be interesting. There's going to be rain in theater effects. There's got to be rain in your face. So
covering the Earth in 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's all you need. Beauty and the Beast is going to be the next one. It's a Beauty and the Beast sing-along. It's happening in France, and it's in that same theater that Impressions de France
France.
De France. Impressions de France.
I speak French.
Pardon moi.
So does Gared. Do you know that?
No, does he really?
Yeah.
I know.
Listen to him pronounce French words. It's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, I'll have to do that now.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Noted.
Yeah.
So this is going to be directed and produced by Don Han, who is the producer. He was the producer of the animated and the live-action Beauty and the Beast films.
Don Han.
Exactly, yeah. It will invite guests to participate in a twist on a tale as old as time, also featuring narration from Angela Lansbury.
Love it.
Who, of course, was Mrs. Potts in the original Beauty and the Beast movie.
I'll tell you when you're older.
That's... Angela?
Is she here?
Angela?
Where's my tea?
Oh my God! Pour me a teacup full, please. Thank you. My goodness.
You'd be drinking out of her son, isn't that weird?
That is
anyway,
kinda
let's
strange,
move on.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Got a mustache.
The new film will run in rotation with Impressions de France. Did I say it right? I was close.
Impression.
Which is receiving an upgrade to a 4K projection. So
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
It's gonna make me even more sick. I'm just gonna be like, oh.
I know. I do get
It's
slightly.
it's awesome.
It's a great.
It's great.
I think that is the best. We'll have to see. We have one more down here, but I think Impressions of France is my favorite. Like World Showcase movie
the music,
that they have.
Everything, but it's like you have to
so
get adjusted to it.
Yeah.
It's like all around you.
And definitely a video that has stood the test of time. I mean, that is clearly, it was filmed in the 80s, and it really stands up to today's standards by, I think, quality and look and appearance.
It
it's
really
just
does.
beautiful.
And I have to say, too, I actually, when we went and watched it, we watched it like last year, I think, for the first time.
Yeah.
And when I went and saw it,
out.
I actually felt like I was missing out. I was like, wow, I'm so sad I haven't seen it sooner. And I got a little teary-eyed during it.
Wow.
Because it was actually kind of moving in a way.
What stopped you guys from seeing it all this time?
I think it's like when we would go, it's either it wasn't playing yet or we just had to run and do our fast passes and stuff. And it was just never like in our thoughts to go in and do it. And then, or we, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things where it's like,
time.
it's just an old movie. Like, I don't really need to go see it. And I don't know. And also, too, it didn't help that the first time I ever went to Epcot, I was very young. And it was one of those things where I was a kid. I was like 10 years old. I was like, let's do some rides, man. We're here for the rides. And my parents the entire time were just like, oh, we need to go around to every country and go to every shop and do. And while that can be exciting to me now, later in my life,
old man.
It was the worst thing possible. I know, I'm turning into an old man. It was the worst thing possible that a kid in Disney World wanted to go do.
Sure.
Yeah.
So for a long time, I kind of had I didn't want to see these shows, because I was just kind of like, I've been there, done that. Like I did that when I was 10. I don't need to do it again. But I was wrong. They offer. We saw Canada recently, which let me talk about the last part real quick.
Talk about the last part.
Yeah. So the last film that's debuting is Canada Far and Wide and the Circle Vision 360, and it's in the Canada Pavilion. Obviously, it's an update to O Canada. That's why I wanted to talk about it. Yeah, and I don't think it's going to have that anymore.
No.
There's going to be a new musical score by Canadian composer Ander Lockington. So
Ander Lockington.
Yeah, I've never heard of him before. But
I thought everyone had.
Listen, he's got to have some kind of clout, and he's Canadian, so he fits in perfect.
It's a very Bieber-esque quality to have.
Sure, it is. It is Bieber.
Very important.
Right. You're right about that. But you cannot forget about the narration by the award-winning actors Catherine O'Hara and Eugene Levy. So
I'm excited.
That'll be
for
amazing.
This.
But yeah, I mean, we went to go see O Canada last year too, and even that was a lot of fun as well. I don't know why I haven't seen these movies in a while, but I'm very excited.
Cheesy, but
yeah,
it was cool.
It was clearly
Martin
cheesy,
Short
but Martin
is
Short, you expect
obviously
that.
A prized possession.
Martin Short is great. So
it's very entertaining, hilarious. Martin Short is, even though he's beyond, I guess, our generation of comedian. Not a lot of people know him.
I love him on Saturday Night Live. That's how I like.
He's hilarious. He's one of my favorite people.
Three Amigos,
Absolutely.
Those are like prize things. But now, like Eugene Levy's going to be in it, and Catherine O'Hara, which is cool. I'm like wondering if they're going to be in like Schitt's Creek-esque type, like talking. Have you guys seen Schitt's Creek? Anybody? No.
No.
Crickets? Okay, cool.
What a
Well,
loner.
you should totally watch it. It's amazing. I really want her to say baby. Anybody understand?
Oh, I
You
wish I got
watched
that
it.
reference.
I know. I wish you did too. Gosh, it's
Seems hilarious. I don't know.
I love her the way she talks. Just watch a couple episodes on the way she talks.
Baby.
She just has this like weird accent, and I love it to death.
I don't think she's gonna do the accent, but I think they will.
I want her to be in character.
I think they
for
will
this.
have friendly
That would
banter.
be hilarious. Yeah, they probably will.
But yeah, all those shows, January 17th.
Very cool.
It's exciting. I love Epcot. I think it might be my favorite theme park, period.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for new things.
I'm pumped too. Yeah, it'll be nice to have all these new shows kind of breathing a life into World Showcase and bringing more attention back to these different countries and keeping it fresh for everybody. And that concludes the news. Trending Countdown. Thank you so much. More Kingdom Report Live is straight ahead. Quickly want to give a thank you to Kimothy in chat, D in chat. So nice to see you on our YouTube Live page. We are thrilled to have you with us as we continue on with Kingdom Report Live.
Do you know everything the ghost host is going to say before he says it? Are you ready to thank the Venetians each time you board Spaceship Earth? Can you recite Walt's opening day dedication speech? Then join the Kingdom team today, the influential Legacy fan community featuring exclusive merchandise that will alert all who've come to this happy place that you are more than just another guest. You are a trusted theme park fan. Don't miss out. Join the Kingdom team right now by visiting the homepage at kingdomreportlive.com. That's kingdomreportlive.com. And now, back to the magic.
Our Walt Disney World reporter, Gared Hassel, has had a very busy week. He has been at Disney's Hollywood Studios this week covering the Rise of the Resistance attraction grand opening. Again, you can check that out at the Kingdom Report on YouTube. But he wanted to file this report from Epcot concerning the holidays. Let's take a look.
Hey Wade, Katrina, Tyler, and the always wonderful Mr. Curt. Happy holidays, my friends. I'm out here at the wonderful Epcot here in Walt Disney World. Let's get into it. First and foremost, right here at the entrance of World Showcase, there is a show, and it's called Joyful, a celebration of the seasons. And it's a gospel choir show where they do some singing, add a little soul to Epcot. I think a little soul is always good. So if you've never seen a gospel choir, they get into it. They do. They have colorful outfits. Phenomenal. But let's get into the holidays. Now, there's a lot of holidays, and I can't remember it all. I'm a smart, clever guy, but not that smart and clever. So luckily, I have a handy dandy thing right here. Boom. It is a festival passport that you can get from almost any retail shop, and it gives you a list of all the different activities going on around here. The first activity I want to point out is called, it is Chippendale's Christmas Tree Spree, and what that is there are some ornaments hidden all around the World Showcase, and Chippendale need your help to find them. Now, if you want to do this activity on your own, you can. However, if you want the special booklet and stickers, there is a cost associated with that. So check that, ask a vendor. But also around World Showcase, they have the best activity of all. It is a cookie crawl where they have special cookies in certain countries. So if you want to know the way to my heart, it's cookies. I love cookies. I'm a weak person when it comes to cookies. But let's get into the activities going around World Showcase. And so over in Mexico, you have Las Posadas celebration. It is a mariachi celebration with dancers, piñatas, and music, and it just celebrates the pageantry of Las Posadas. Over in Norway, there's a little mischievousness going on. You have the magical barn Santa, who is a mischievous version of Santa, and he's, doing little pranks on a Christmas storyteller named Sigrid. So check that out. I've seen it before. It's actually very, very cute. He dances around and it's just a little mischievous. Over in China, they have the Chinese lion dancers, which are celebrating the Chinese Lunar New Year, as well as bringing some good fortune. And if you've ever seen a Chinese dragon, they are immaculate. They are gorgeous and really cool to look at. Over in Germany, they have a new show called Chili de Mur, which is a German vocal group that celebrates the season with folk and pop music. So if you like music, boom, get on over there, grab a beer, Prost, have a good time. Now, as we move along into Italy, there's a witch there, but not a mean witch. There's a good witch, and her name is, it's a tale of La Bafana, which is a kind-hearted witch who who visits sleeping young children on the eve of the Epiphany. And then you got some food over in Italy too. I imagine a lot of carbs. Over in America, you got a lot going on. America is the hub of the holiday spectacular here. You can meet Santa and Mrs. Claus. Not just Santa, but his good lady too. Santa and Mrs. Claus. They're going on there. They have 4 times that they do it. And then there's also the Voice of Liberty as Charles Dickens carolers, so they sing some holiday classics. And then the biggest thing, which is the candlelit processional that happens in the American Pavilion Theater, and they have a number of fantastic hosts. Now, going on in Japan, you have the Daruma Storyteller, which is discover the customs of the Japanese New Year and the fascinating story behind the good luck charm known as the Daruma doll. So yeah, that looks cool too. And then between Morocco and France, there is actually a Hanukkah celebration going on, so you can learn about the celebration that is the Jewish faith, which is Hanukkah, 8 wonderful magical nights. But over in Morocco, there is a lively band, and it is called Madbouka Groove, and it does some street festivals holiday season across Morocco. So yeah, that's going on over there. Dun, dun, dum, dum, dum. It is very nice out here weather-wise, but yeah. So once you get into France, you get to meet Père Noël, which actually means Father Christmas, but that's different than another Father Christmas, which I'll get to. But yeah, you have Père Noël, and he will help you rediscover the magic of Christmas through the delightful letter of a child. And he, like from the picture here, if you can see, he looks very festive. He looks good to go. Now, France, always one of my favorite countries here just because the food is immaculate, the language is beautiful, and you got Ratatouille coming in a few months. Now, over in the UK, over in the United Kingdom, you have Father Christmas, and he rings in the holiday season sharing traditions of the United Kingdom with good cheer. So you gotta check that out. And then finally, closing off the World Showcase, you have Canada with the Canadian Holiday Voyageurs, and explore the holiday customs from across the vast regions of Canada on a musical tour of the Great White North. Now, those are the festivities going on around World Showcase Lagoon and World Showcase in general. But never forget, there's always a ton going on at Epcot. Over in Living with the Land, they have a special Christmas spectacular, whereas once it gets dark, they add some Christmas lights to that ride. And so for me, Living with the Land, one of my favorite attractions, just because it's educational and it's fun. It's something that Walt and the Imagineers always try to do, where if you can add knowledge with an attraction and have someone truly learn, then you have the recipe for success. So some construction things going on. There is always construction going on at Epcot. Epcot is in the current status of being made into something more than what it has ever been in the past, something closer to what Walt's dream was. And over in the Fountain of Nations area, that thing has been completely gutted. It is gone. There are no fountains, there's no water in there anymore. They're going to be remaking that along with the area next to it into a giant festival center and turning it into a green area full of trees and magic and splendor. So that is very exciting. I'm looking forward to that, but we probably won't see any major progress on that until probably, I'm guessing, summer 2020, but do not hold me to that. Over yonder on that rooftop over there, that is the restrooms that I showed you a couple weeks ago. They have recently been doing some work on the roofs, trying to make it look nice and shiny, painting, doing the primer and the finishes on there. So that restroom is going to be very nice, because in this whole area right here, if you enter World Showcase, your first bathroom is over by Epcot Experience Center, or the Odyssey, if you know by that name. And then the next one to that, besides the one that's being built, is over in the United Kingdom. So there's a large area without a restroom, and that is concerning, especially if you're a parent with small children, or if you're just a millennial like myself that drinks a lot of water. Over in France, the Ratatouille attraction is coming along at breakneck speeds. They are plowing through this thing. I believe they are already working on the interior of the ride, working on the ride mechanics, and that the exterior, though, Still has a long way to come. They have done a lot of the foundation, the groundwork for the restrooms, the creperie, as well as the entrance to the Ratatouille attraction coming there. So this has been Gared on the Go. Hope that you have had a fun time, and be sure to check back on the YouTube channel for some amazing videos that I put out on Thursdays. But thank you all so much. Wade, Katrina, Tyler, Curt. See you guys in a little bit. Bye.
Well, I just love the holidays, making big batches of gumbo. There's just nothing like food that brings everybody together. And I think that's what I'm most thankful for this Thanksgiving season.
Food
Everybody
time.
come together
Absolutely.
around a big pot of gumbo.
Anything for Naveen?
Oh, well, I love my Prince Naveen, of course. He's the most special person in the whole world. My most favorite person of all time. So grateful for him and all my family, all my loved ones.
Well, thank you.
Disney list time is here, and today it is all about that food. Who doesn't love themselves some Disneyland Park restaurants? Well, I'll tell you, Katrina Manzone loves some Disneyland Park restaurants, and she has her list here. What's on that list?
That's right.
Oh my.
Okay, so it took me a really hard. Like I had to really sit and think about the 3 restaurants because it's really hard. Because like we all talked about before, we don't really eat at Disneyland. Normally, we just go to Disney California Adventure because they have better food. But
so take that as a note.
I know, really.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Started off with a bang.
There's that.
Anyway, but the 3 are amazing. So get your pen and papers ready. Okay. First off, quick service, Jolly Holiday over in Main Street, USA.
How about that?
Love it. You know why? Because I can get grilled cheese and then the tomato soup. And I didn't really like dipping. I never really did that as a child, and my mom's watching, so she knows. I never asked for like, Mom, I want some tomato soup and some grilled cheese. I would just want grilled cheese. And then Tyler got me into it, actually, and I thought it was delicious. And then Jolly Holidays, so it has like sandwich fare. They have soups. They have all the delicious, yummy goodies that they like the Matterhorn macaron. Or macaroon? It's macaroon because it's
macaroon.
It's a macaroon,
yeah,
not a macaron.
Right.
And then they have like the cinnamon rolls that are delicious, and I love it because it's Mary Poppins themed.
Right.
The Jolly Holiday. But yeah, those are like the best. And then they handle everything so well for gluten-free stuff, and they always have those delicious like chocolate chip cookies I was talking about in the last couple episodes ago, and the brownies, and then you can get like coffee and stuff there. So I always love the Jolly Holiday. It's like a good quick place to go if you need something to eat.
Now, your mother, who's celebrating a birthday today on this live broadcast by George, your mother did not necessarily make this for you as a child, or what was
I would eat grilled cheese like all the time, but I never really paired it with tomato soup.
I see.
And like Jolly Holiday, that's like their main. Everybody gets their grilled cheese and tomato soup.
That's the thing to do.
Yeah, and I never really did that as a child. I just wanted my grilled cheese.
Hadn't been introduced to you.
Yeah, like
you had to grow.
Yeah,
you had to
I
learn.
don't think we really ate tomato soup when I was a kid. I think we would eat like tomato sauce, and I would eat it as a soup as a child, which is
kind of weird. Yeah,
but I would eat a bowl of it with bread. Like,
look at you. Yeah. Didn't know any better.
Strange.
Apparently.
I guess not.
Wow.
I don't know. Anyway,
to be fair, I didn't do that either. Like I didn't do that until I think actually probably this restaurant. I really
that Jolly Holiday.
The Jolly Holiday taught us a bunch of wonderful new things.
Producer Curt, have you ever dunked your grilled cheese?
You know, it wasn't until I got married. My wife introduced that to me.
Is this a couples thing?
You know,
I guess. So.
I always just ate my grilled cheese
separately.
Planned, like, yeah, exactly, separately. I never, you never did any dunking.
Well,
you don't pair it with something. You just eat it by itself. Maybe pair inside and put some ham in there, but you just don't dip it in something. You
I feel
just
like I did this as a kid. I felt like everybody at school did the same thing.
I think they had it in school, and then I was like, no, I'll just have chicken nuggets.
Must be a cultural thing.
I guess.
I grew up in Northern California. Maybe it's a Southern California.
I mean, I went to school for Southern California for a while, and then in Oregon. So I don't know. My mom just texted me. She's like, "You don't like tomatoes when you're little, but I ate tomato sauce. That doesn't make any sense." Oh, Leanne.
Your world.
She crazy. I don't know. She's not crazy. I love her.
Scene of chaos. Well, okay, so Jolly Holiday, very good.
Second, and then we're going to take a little walk, and we're going to go to Cafe Arlene's.
Are we?
Yeah, and you know why? Because of their Monte Cristo sandwich. And yes, I can have it.
Why? How can you have that?
I have to special order it a day before, 24 hours in advance. So if people have allergies and stuff, you can call and make a reservation and then pre-order your Monte Cristo sandwich. And then they make it with a special batter. And then so when you arrive that next day, you say, I'm Katrina. I called ahead, and they go, I have a sandwich for you. And
you don't approach by saying, you don't know who I am?
No.
I would have.
I don't think anybody knows who I am, honestly.
I would have thought that's what you would have said. But anyway.
It's delicious. I get like the 3-meat one. But Cafe Arlene's awesome. I love to sit outside because you get that beautiful view. And then you see like the ships going by, and then you get, it just feels like so alive when you eat, you eat out there, and then you get to see people walking by and like talking about their day, and then you kind of like eavesdrop on them, and I don't know, I guess I'm an eavesdropper, but it's always fun to see like little kids excited, and then like people painting the umbrellas and stuff. It's just something to like watch while you're like eating. And then so the Monte Cristos over there are like their most popular thing, and the normal glutinous kind are like massive. You have to like literally share. And if you don't know what a Monte Cristo is, it's like a ham and cheese sandwich, and then they batter it and then deep fry it, and then they put powdered sugar over it, and then they give you like a side of, like, I want to say it's like just like a berry jam. It's like a blackberry jam,
like a compote type thing.
And it's so good. It's like that sweet and savory, which is like it's like my downfall. I love sweet and savory stuff. And then their garlic fries are the pommes frites are delicious, and they have this like Cajun mayo that they put on the side, and it's just to die for. I think those are the only two things you should get there.
Deep fried everything.
USA. It is.
That's right.
I mean, at least there's no hamburgers, so that's good. Whew. But yeah, that's like always my favorite. And then my third is just a little walk over, and that's the Blue Bayou. It took me a while to figure out the third one because I was tossed up between two, the Riverbell Terrace or the Blue Bayou.
Oh, interesting.
I know.
That's a tough choice.
And I had to choose the Blue Bayou because I love their surf and turf, and if you get that right seat right by the water, because you're sitting inside Pirates, you get to see the people getting in the boat, and then you kind of hear that really cool, like, it's like a banjo, like kind of playing in the background. And I think that's like you have to ask for that spot. Like the ones by the exit are like the worst. But the surf and turf is delicious. I think that's the only thing I get there. And it's really delicious, like lobster. And it's like maybe a 2-3 ounce lobster. And then you get like a 6-ounce steak. And then you get these like au gratin potatoes that are to die for. They're cheesy and delicious. And it's like a really great atmosphere just to kind of sit down and relax. And then I would say get the Fantasmic dining package is what I would say if you ever eat there, because then you get kind of like a 2-for-1er. And then you get a free butt pad to sit on when you go watch Fantasmic, because their Fantasmic seating is right in the front of Rivers of America. So they give you this really nice pad that's like that has like all the Disney stuff. So it's like how you get a little souvenir, and you have to sit down throughout the whole show, but it's even better because when you see the ships go by, they look even bigger and they're even more impactful to you. So when they have the pirate scene, you see them like fight back and forth, and you're like, wow, I never really realized it was so big. It's
and
just
you're
really
comfortable on that butt pad.
It was actually really not that bad. I thought it was great. And then it's
a lot. The butt pad actually helps a lot.
It helps.
It really does.
It really helps a lot. But
we've done with and without, and it's a helpful thing.
I think the dining package is a great deal, because if you just eat at the Blue Bayou normally, I think it's like for $20 more or something like that, you get a 3-course meal and a Fantasmic seating package, and then you get a butt pad. So.
And
you get 3 things, technically.
Yeah. And if you choose that surf and turf as an entree, that is like actually a really good deal. I mean, that surf and turf is really high quality for what it is. And I would think that compared to everything else on the menu, I don't know, that's the thing to go for.
It is really, honestly.
It really is.
I saw someone get like a ribeye steak, and I was like, ooh, no. And then someone got fish, and I was like, what are you doing? It was like the small, sad piece of fish, and then I got my surf and turf, and so did Tyler, and everybody's like,
everybody was
really good.
Everybody was a little bit disappointed, and I was like, this is amazing. What are you guys talking about? Like, I don't know.
I know, and I was like, oh, I would have offered you a bite, but I ate it all. Sorry.
Yeah, well.
But anyway, so those are my 3. So I'm going to go over them again.
Yeah.
Jolly Holiday, Cafe Orleans, and the Blue Bayou.
Perfect.
Delish. Must try.
Rounding out Katrina's top 3 Disneyland park restaurants. All of her favorites right there. Stick around. King of Report Live continues next.
Hey Kingdom team, do you need more magic in your life? We understand, which is why we connect you to more of what makes you happy 3 times a week. Catch our theme park coverage, vlogs, and reviews every Tuesday and Thursday. And experience the Kingdom Report live, streaming every Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. That's new content every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, crafted with you in mind. Don't miss out. Be sure to subscribe and activate notifications at The Kingdom Report on YouTube. And catch every update throughout the week at Kingdom Report Live on social media. See you there!
It's Deuter Digit time, our favorite time of the week where we discuss whether or not something is worth doing or giving up entirely, perhaps even updating to a certain degree. And today, it's all about Journey into Imagination with Figment at Epcot in Walt Disney World, a attraction that is steeped in lots of different opinion and definitely a polarizing topic, as we came to find with various different polls that we took. But you'll see here that on Facebook we asked, is this a part of your Epcot trip? And 68% said, yes, it's wonderful. 32% said, no, update it or replace it. Now, over on Instagram, 84% said they always do this on their Epcot trip. 16%, of course, saying, yep, no, never. But this is something that over the course of time, I've witnessed create a lot of friction among park guests and among various fans of Walt Disney World and Epcot. This is an attraction that has quite a history to it, was once an attraction in a very different form. With Figment also came a character called Dreamfinder. Dreamfinder was Figment's basically human counterpart. And Dreamfinder was a big part of the attraction in the beginning. Then I think we're 2 versions in now of a different ride, right? Two versions since.
That's the second version of the updated ride, yes.
Yeah, and now the question is, with Epcot's whole sort of renovation and Epcot's overhaul, will Journey into Imagination, even though nothing's been said, will it remain as how we know it, or will it change or be gotten rid of entirely? What do you guys think?
I want to say they should update it.
Are you a ditch it type of person?
But I'm a do it.
Oh, okay.
I love writing that ride. I think every time we go to Epcot, we have to write it. And there's usually 5-minute wait or something. And we get our own row to ourselves. And it's the best. You don't get crammed in anything. And it's always just a fun little ride. I love Figment. And I love when you go into his imagination and see his house and he's upside down. I don't know. It's always a fun ride. I don't know. But it definitely needs updating though.
Yeah, I'm in the camp of I got to do it every time, but it also needs to be updated.
Yeah.
It's the reason I do it every time is not for what I'm looking at necessarily, not for the amazing technology, anything like that. It's honestly the song. Mm-hmm. It's the music.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to be able to go on that attraction in its, primary or in its original form. And it's a shell of what it used to be. I mean, it really is. And
a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah. And Dreamfinder was an incredible character that they just threw away.
Yeah.
Now, as you said, they haven't announced anything yet, but I think it would be incredibly foolish to update all of Epcot and not update the mascot. I mean, come on. He's the mascot of Epcot.
Little purple dragon.
Everything.
Yeah. I mean, he's on everything. You have to update that ride. I don't hate it, but it's so sad when I think about it because of everything that it could have been and how they really threw away the heart of it.
Yeah.
In a way. It is if you want to think of the original version of California Adventure, how kind of corporate that was.
Sure.
Mm.
That is exactly what this ride is now. It's the corporifying, this is the corporate people getting in creative's way. And they need to realize at this point, let's give it back to creative, because we know they can do something incredible.
Yeah.
It's Disney is the best at coming up with just these off the wall, crazy technology ideas. How could they not make a ride based on imagination? That just seems like blue sky for them.
Sure.
So, again, do it, 100% do it, especially because of the song, the history of Epcot, but also 100% it's got to be updated. So
they have so much new technology that they can utilize to make everybody like just be astounded and like actually make them use their imagination.
Yeah, imagine.
I mean, it's in
what
the
that
song.
could look like. Yeah, absolutely. No, you got that right. Well, let's take a look at some of the comments that some of our Kingdom team ended up leaving for us under this poll. Sandy says she loves this ride and Figment and is usually their first ride for her family when they come to Epcot. Sharon says that she wishes it would go back to the original with the Dreamfinder and the Imagination song. Brandon says, I skip this attraction every trip to Walt Disney World because it feels cheap. The only good thing about this pavilion is the second floor, which is a break room for Disney Vacation Club members. And then Marley says, I love Figgy, but the current version seems a bit watered down. Maybe I'm just nostalgic. I remember being completely elated when I was a kid riding the old one. I feel like they can do a lot better with this attraction. All that said, this is a ride that I never miss, and we make sure that we go every trip. P.S. Bring back the Rainbow Tunnel, which used to be a big part of the Imagination Pavilion as well. Curt, why don't we jump over to you? When you go out to Epcot and Walt Disney World, is this a do it or ditch it attraction?
I think I'm sharing the same opinion. The ride, the music is just so wholesome. Like I have to do it. I would love for them to update it as well. I mean, either way, I'm going to go on the ride if they don't update it or not. But I would really like to see them update it, more technology, and just make it what the ride is all about.
I don't disagree with that. Imagine what could be done. You're absolutely right. As you guys have made this point, imagine what could be done with new technology and the sake of imagination. This should be the star pavilion for a place like Epcot and for a place like Disney. The Imagination Pavilion should shine brighter than any pavilion they have in a theme park. And why don't we take a gander at what Gared from Journey to Imagination out there in Walt Disney World, our reporter, has to say. He's live at Epcot, pre-recorded. Live, if you will, to share with us exactly what he thinks when it comes to this attraction.
In the words of Wade, it is do it or ditch it time, folks, and I'm in front of Journey into the Imagination with Figment. Now, for me, there's only one option. Hello, folks. For me, there's only do it. You have to do Figment, even though it has the most annoying song in the world. Figment is just a hallmark of Epcot. Granted, it's changed a lot since they got rid of Dreamfinder, but Figment, it's a cute ride. It needs a lot of TLC. It needs a lot of love, just because it looks a little dated and stuff, but the theme song, Imagination, it's annoying, but you love it. It's just a staple of what Epcot is. And in the rumor mill, there's always the thought that, oh, Figment's part of the Imagination. That ties into like Bing Bong and the characters from Inside Out. So in the future, will they remaster this and add some Inside Out to it, add some of the intellectual property? Who knows? But for me, I love Figment. It's a cute ride. It always makes me smile. And right now, if you look, there's a 30-minute line over there. Figment's definitely getting some love today. And how could you not love that friendly dragon? I don't know, he's just a lovable guy. I think it'd be great if in the future they one day have a meet and greet with him or something. That'd be, I think, kind of cute, or at least special occasions, or maybe bring back Dreamfinder. Who knows? But I'm doing it every time. Figment is my man. Purple Dragon for the win. Figmenteers, that's what we're going to call ourselves. He's got the Mouseketeers. Figmenteers, unite. Yeah.
So not only does he say do it, but on top of that, a 30-minute wait for this attraction. This was a couple days ago, obviously, when he was able to record this and speak about it. But 30 minutes, I don't remember the last time I saw a 30-minute wait for Journey into Imagination. Usually it's 5 minutes, walk on. I almost never have to wait, just walk right in.
Yeah.
But it shows that there's still some staying power with this attraction from time to time. You see moments like that and you think, all right, well, people still like it.
Yeah.
You know, people still, definitely gravitate towards it.
Yeah, there's something about it, and I can't disagree with some of our listeners and watchers. the ride feels cheap, but at the same time, I want to go and do it. I do want to say real quick that even though I want them to update it, there were rumors going around that Inside Out might be a part of this reimagining. I love Inside Out. That's a great, fantastic movie that children should watch, adults should watch. It actually can help you understand how your brain works in a weird kind of way. Don't put it in Epcot.
Can Bing Bong be the Dream Finder?
No. I want the Dream Finder, and I want Figment, and I want joy and sadness to go do their emotions elsewhere. So anyway, that's one last thing I wanted to say. But
well, imagine getting Bing Bong and Figment into the same attraction. I mean, they look kind of similar too. There's a purple nature to the two of them. That's
honestly something that I thought about. Would they combine Figment and Inside Out? I don't know. I wonder if they would.
Really stupid. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense why they would combine like a Pixar movie and then this classic attraction into one, and I feel like they're double dipping, which they shouldn't. They should either bring back the Dreamfinder or reimagine it just to promote Figment, because it's on all of their merchandise. Every time they promote something, food and wine, everything, they always blast Figment. So you need to honor Figment and just leave him and make him the star.
Give him the epic
Inside
attraction
Out, you know?
he finally deserves.
Yeah, make another attraction for Inside Out, because I would love that.
Yeah.
But don't put them together.
Don't crossbreed.
No, it's not worth it.
No, none of that mixing. Well, overall, it sounds like the do-its have it. I'm definitely a do-it person when it comes to Journey into Imagination with Figment. There's something very special about this attraction, and something that always makes you feel good. You walk away always feeling good, even though there is some cheap sort of ploys within the attraction. And Dr. Nigel Channing, who is a big part of the open house story of this from the Imagination Institute, he might be the most annoying theme park character ever created in my mind. Even though he really bothers me, I do enjoy Figment. I like the concept of the open house. They did what they could with it. But I definitely think Imagination in a place like Disney, period, should have one of the greatest, most spectacular attractions ever created.
Sure.
Yeah.
What do you think about when they turn him into the moon?
It's the worst part.
Yeah. I mean, it's so silly, but I love the ending
part.
when
It's the worst
part.
Figment's like...
That's the worst part?
It's like, blast.
I can't stand that part. You want to talk about the most creepy,
silly.
Weird part? Yeah.
It's when he turns into a moon. He's very happy.
I know.
Yeah.
He's like just like singing to you.
One little spark!
Yeah. Come on now.
Yeah, he's finally given in. Yeah. Terrible.
That's my favorite part of the ride.
I'm glad you enjoy it. So they did it for you, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, Tyler's coming in.
Missed the
Get
boat
that
on me.
moon.
Yep. Right.
I like that part too.
You do.
Thank you, Kurt.
Tyler and Kurt will like this.
I love everybody screaming at the end with the air compressors, and like when Figment says like at the end like whatever, it's like whatever, it's a
Imagination's a blast.
and then everybody's like, "Ah!" And then I'm like,
That is pretty good.
how many times have you ridden this ride? It's adorable. Anyway,
Well, it sounds like overall the do-its have it for Journey into Imagination with Figment at Epcot in Walt Disney World. It's time for the one thing. One thing we're interested in, one thing we can't do without, one thing we love the most. That is what the one thing is all about. And today's one thing is all about one delightful treat we enjoy most when it comes to the holidays at Disney. So across the properties, nobody does Christmas time quite like Disney parks. And so there's always one thing we must have when it comes to treats in the Christmas season. And I will turn it over to Tyler first. Tyler, what is your one treat when it comes to this holiday season?
Well, Wade, I have a new challenger this year.
Oh.
This has not been anything that you've been able to eat in the past. This is a brand new thing that has been added this year to the Disneyland Resort. And I'm going to have to go with the reimagined beef Wellington at the Twisted Traditions at Festival of the Holidays at Disney California Adventure.
Thank God that wasn't a blog post. Oh my gosh. Wow.
what a headline.
The beef Wellington.
The reimagined beef Wellington. It is honestly spectacular. There is, first of all, the first time I saw the picture of it, I thought it was a tiny little thing like the size of somebody's hand.
Yeah.
It's massive. It's like this big. It's like two big things. Two big hands. Anyway, I can't talk. It's a puff pastry shaped like Mickey with this slow cooked beef on top and a little sauteed mushroom action. And I don't know, man. It has all the flavors of a beef Wellington. It's not quite a meal, so I put it in kind of that snack, wheelhouse a little bit. And it's just fantastic. And I just hope they keep on bringing it back every year because when I go to California Adventure now, it's like, I got to go get that beef Wellington. Like, it's really, really tasty.
A lot of rave reviews about that online. People seem to be thrilled with it. So
it's really good.
Yeah,
it's
it sounds
not
like
just
you're in good
because of the
company.
shape of the beef Wellington. It's actually the taste.
I don't care that it looks like Mickey. But it's cool. I'm fine. What I will say about that puff pastry is that it's impressive that they probably make hundreds of them a day.
Yeah.
And they get them right every time because puff pastry is not the easiest thing to cook properly. And,
it's hard to do.
And keep well. And so, yeah, it's very good. Very tasty.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Katrina, one treat you must have during the holiday season.
See, this is really hard because I can't really eat much that they release for the holidays.
That's why I thought it'd be fascinating to hear what yours is.
I don't know. So the first thing that popped in my mind was like cold weather, and I was like, oh, Bear, what do I do when I'm like cold? And I'm like, oh, I want coffee, but not any coffee. I love B52s at Carthay Circle.
Oh.
Does that count?
Sure, that counts.
Okay, good. So yeah, B52 over at Carthay Circle. It's just a delicious cup of coffee with 3 different kinds of liqueurs in it and some whipped cream. It's delicious. So there's like Bailey's Irish Cream, Kahlua, and Grand Marnier. And then they put a little shavings of orange zest on it with some delicious whipped cream. Delicious.
It's really tasty.
It's very tasty.
It sounds tasty. Wow.
It'll warm you up.
It'll make you addicted where you want to make it at your house in the mornings.
Sure.
Which is bad because you don't want to do that on a weekday.
Right. Well,
but on a weekend, maybe. It's definitely like a showstopper if you have guests over and you're like, I'm making a B52. And then you make it and everybody's like, ooh, yummy. So anyway, that's my holiday treat. This B52.
Well, very nice. Yeah. Take one, toss it back. Oh my! And Curt, how about you? One treat you must have when it comes to Disney holidays.
So mine's at California Adventure as well. I'm noticing a theme there. I like the it's at one of the Festival of Holidays, the chorizo queso fundido. I get it every year. It is so good.
That's a popular one.
Wow.
I love it so much.
That's another one that I could have put on my list.
Yeah, it's just so tasty. And I mean, you got to eat it fast because that cheese like starts to solidify pretty quickly. But it is so good. It is really good.
I must put that on my list. I haven't had that yet. So
really
beef
good.
Wellington I have. Spectacular. Got to get my boozy coffee. That's for sure.
Delish.
Very good. Well, let's head on back out to Walt Disney World for our Walt Disney World reporter, Mr. Gared Hassel, and hear what his one thing you must have during the holidays is.
My holiday treat that I like to have in the parks, I'm actually not a big snacker when it comes to the parks. I typically buy full meals. But if it had to be one thing that I snack on that's a holiday treat that makes me feel the holiday spirit, it has to be a cookie. It can be a gingerbread cookie, a chocolate chip cookie, it could be a cookie crumble, whatever. Like, cookies just make me think of when I used to put them out for Santa on Christmas Eve and then come out in the morning, took a couple bites, had some milk. So yeah, cookies, it just reminds me of my childhood when I used to put cookies out for Santa. So yeah, you can't beat a good cookie. Like, you can have like, I don't know, hot cocoa or something, but cookie, it is a staple of the holidays because Santa's got to eat something, right? That's how he runs on sugar, and he uses the protein in the eggs to keep him going. So cookies, the only way to go for the holidays for myself.
Well, he kind of stole mine. It's not necessarily a cookie, but it is a gingerbread man. So there's something just so unique and simple about, especially the Disneyland version of a gingerbread man. I love the way that these little guys are created. It's something that when I used to work for Disney is something I would always go and get cases of because I would take it to my cast members and hand them out. And it was always something that I thought, it's special for the season. It's something everybody knows, a gingerbread man. And it just makes you feel that piece of the season, right? It just makes you feel a little extra special because it is Christmas time. And that's the only time I'm ever going to eat a gingerbread man. I don't want it.
You don't want it in the summer.
I don't want it in March.
No.
I don't care about a gingerbread man in March.
Sure.
Now I just want to make a gingerbread man for you in like the summer
I
and
know,
put
yeah,
like
just
board
bring it.
shorts on and like a little
I'm not going to
Hawaiian
eat
button
that.
down. How dare you?
I will not eat that.
Wow.
No, not until Christmas time rolls around.
Just
It's a
like keep
holiday
it on the
concept.
side until December 1st, and
Yeah.
then you can eat it, and it'll be like kind of hard and stale.
You're going to have
but-
to make it a coat then. Yeah, it's going to have to get all
I will
over.
say Disney has done a decent job of rolling the gingerbread man into a Halloween with their zombie gingerbread men. I love those guys.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Would you eat it then?
Maybe.
Oh.
I mean,
think
they're
we did
themed
it.
of the season. They're zombie-like.
There you go.
It's true. You
What?
can eat it on Haunted Mansion Holiday, so you're kind of in Christmas.
That's a great way to merge the two. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Katrina, you're brilliant.
Thank you.
My
Where's
God.
my clapping?
That's the studio audience has fallen asleep at this point. I think we've gone on way too long, so we need to probably wrap things up here. But that looks to be the one thing when it comes to a treat that we must have during the holiday season. Well, my friends, that brings us to the end of this broadcast. Hopefully you're having a merry good time and you're enjoying your December month as we move closer to Christmas time. Speaking of the holidays, what's going on at attractionfaction.net we should know about?
Well, we just released our blog from Grinchmas. So we went to see Grinchmas and we got to see the holidays in the Wizarding Worlds of Harry Potter. So that was super fun. And then I think that's it until we go to Florida, and then we're going to start slowly releasing stuff from there.
Yeah, we're going to have some Florida stuff, but I think we will have one more video from maybe California Adventure or something. We'll do a little bit more before we leave, but it's going to be mostly Florida coming up here, so that should be fun.
Whoop, whoop.
That
Rise
will
of the
be a good
Resistance. You can see our expressions. No spoilers, though.
No spoilers, though.
Even though everybody spoiled it already, but
That's true.
you can see our faces. I'll probably be like,
Can't even look
can we
at,
freeze frame that?
I can't even look at Twitter without seeing things I don't want to see. I'm sad.
It's true. That's why we warned people at the beginning of this broadcast. You know, hey, you're going to see some spoilers here when it comes to especially Gared's experience that he had this week. Now, you tried, Tyler, a certain something in Whoville, it looked like.
I
earlier this
did,
week.
yeah.
What was
I
it?
did. Who hash, yeah, the thing that the Grinch stole. It was amazing. It was tater tots, cheese sauce. It was like a kind of a corned beef type of thing, and then a little bit of sprinkle of green onions on top. And it came in. My favorite part was it came in this little can that literally had like a Who hash label on it and everything. It was very cute, metal can and everything. It was very cool. The food was pretty tasty. I mean, I think you could share that between two people. It was like $10.29.
That's a lot, honestly.
I liked it. I think it was really cool, and I hope that they do more stuff like that. I love to see like themed food like that, and it was a really clever and fun idea. And
no one really talks about it. Everybody was talking about the green eggs and ham over in Florida, and then they were talking about the two kinds of things you can get, and no one talked about it. You can get it in California, and so I was just like, what? And so we had to go get it.
Yeah, so go to Mel's
now we don't
Diner.
have to wait in line
You got to go to
for
Mel's
it.
Diner and get that Who hash. You got to do it. Do it now.
See, exclusive universal coverage nobody seems to be talking about over at Attraction Faction.
Yeah, we got the Who hash. It's delicious.
Worth a gander. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, we can't wait to check that out. Also, taking a look at your social media, that's where I saw your experience with the Who hash, and also got to see a little behind the scenes as to how it was created.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got it. I was like, oh, she's working hard on this.
You
I
and
didn't
your
really
eagle eye.
know that they actually like do it. I don't know. For some reason, I thought it was like pre-made or something. I don't know. I guess that doesn't really work because it's like fried, tater tots. So then it would get soggy. But she was like going to town, just like mixing everything together. And I was like, this is great. And I like slowly like zoomed in being a creeper.
I have to say there was some weird. In my head, I was like, she really cares about my Who hash. I don't know why I felt. I was like, she's
really
doing
cool
a good
funnel.
job. Like, yeah.
She packed it in there, sprinkled it with a little bit of green onions.
She did like a little emerald bam at the end.
It goes to show you no one orders it ever, which is why she took so much time on this.
I think
Nobody
it
was there.
honestly,
It was so dead. It was just that
a weekday.
dead. Yeah.
It was cold. I'm sure no one really knows about it because no
Clearly.
one's tweeting about it.
Yeah.
Hashtag Who hash.
This is why I know you, to
That's
bring me
right.
up to speed.
That's
Thank
right.
God you're here.
We are so honored to be here.
You know what?
Thank you for trusting us.
I trust a theme park perspective right here. I think
that's the term we use.
Maybe right over your shoulder even it says something very similar to that. I don't know, but that's why you're here. That's there's some brilliance in these two minds.
Oh, that's very kind of
My
you. Wade.
gosh. You know what? It's my pleasure. How about that?
Thank you.
Thank you.
But not to
I'm feeling uncomfortable now for some
and
reason.
can we? That's what I aim to do. Before the end of every broadcast, I like to make people feel as uncomfortable as possible. And can we admire the Christmas sweater of the week that Katrina has here? Look at that.
We'll take a gander. Here.
Oh my! Look at
Isn't
that.
that adorable? It's a little penguin.
Penguin
holiday
with a
penguin.
Santa cap.
That's right.
Nothing.
Maybe I'll wear one next week. For the last show.
That would be great.
Okay.
Well, not the last show. The last show we're going to be
the
on
last
for
show,
this.
Then we'll be here in person for this year.
Yeah.
So
way to make people think that this experiment
I
is
got
done.
fired, you guys. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, wow,
It's
way to
out.
make people think
This is
that.
my last show next week.
These two are going to be going on holiday here pretty quick. And when that happens, we'll have some special guest hosts and some folks that you can meet for the first time. But they will be back beyond that. So nothing to worry about. Way to freak people out. Well, my friends, it has been a great pleasure being a part of your weekend this very Saturday. Hopefully you've enjoyed yourself. Remember, the legacy of Walt Disney lives on because of people like you and me. We will see you next Saturday for another edition of Kingdom Report Live.